Lexington police need your help finding this man. They say they believe he's robbed another Lexington bank. I'll have that story coming up.
We really need to move some of the animals.
They need more room. We're checking in with the Clark County Animal Shelter. Leaders there helped police rescue dogs and cats from a home they called unlivable. And Briar Fest is at the Kentucky Horse Park.
It's a tradition for us now.
Absolutely.
It really, and it's just a lot of fun.
We'll take a look at everything from model horses to real ones.
This is WKYT News at 6.
They are trying to track a robber. You're watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Tonight, Lexington police are looking for a man they say robbed 3 banks this week. The latest this morning at Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road. Police tell us the man went in, said he had a weapon, and demanded cash. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain talked to police who say they know who they're looking for. She has our top story at 6.
This Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road was robbed earlier this morning. Police tell me they believe they're looking for the same suspect who robbed another Lexington bank earlier this week. Here's a look at the man police say is Kelly Cox. Police say there are 3 warrants out for his arrest. One for this morning's robbery at Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road. They say he implied he had a weapon and took some cash. Police also believe Cox robbed the Fork Bank on New Circle Road Wednesday. And Tuesday night, police say Cox robbed the Marathon gas station on North Broadway. That time, he was armed with a knife.
We just need to try to locate this subject because we feel like I said, he's getting desperate and brazen with his actions at this point, and we'd like to hurry and get him off the streets before he hits another location.
Police believe Cox is in the Cardinal Valley area. Shanna King lives in the neighborhood, right behind the Fifth Third Bank that was robbed this morning.
It makes me a little uneasy to know that there's robbers out there that close to me. You know, I have kids. There's kids everywhere. It's sad.
If you have any information on Kelly Cox or where he may be located, you're asked to contact Lexington Police. In Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
And here's another look at Kelly Cox. Police say he's in his 30s, has a goatee and tattoos around his neck. This morning, he was wearing gray sweatpants, a black T-shirt, and a UK hat. Lexington police are also investigating a second bank robbery. This one happened this morning at the Republic Bank on Harrodsburg Road. Police say a man walked in with a mask over his face and jumped over the counter. Police do not have much of a description to work with, but they did give us this photo this afternoon. They do not believe the 2 robberies today are connected. A teenager in London is facing charges tonight. Investigators say he threatened deputies. Deputies went out to a home on West Laurel Road near London today to check out a complaint. When they got there, they say 18-year-old Jacob Jesse threatened to kill them. Jesse is charged with disorderly conduct, terroristic threatening, and menacing. The Clark County Animal Shelter is packed tonight. Leaders there took in many dogs and cats yesterday. Police rescued the animals from a home on Melbourne Street that they called unlivable. WKYT's Sabira Rayford checked up on the pets.
Employees at the Clark County Animal Shelter say the last 24 hours have been extremely busy for them. They say after rescuing 16 pets yesterday, now more than ever, they need help adopting out the animals they already had.
All day long, people stop by the shelter to make donations. Some of the people we talked to say they heard about the large rescue and wanted to help in any way they could. Employees at the shelter were called to the home by police. Director of the Clark County Animal Shelter, Adriana Wills, says the home was unlivable. She says for the most part, the animals are doing way better, but rescuing them has set the shelter back.
We had the space for them, but between yesterday and today, we've taken in several new animals, and we have to house the animals from the case yesterday. That's not an option, so we really need to move some of the animals that we have that are available and looking for homes.
The shelter is also looking for people interested in fostering animals as well. In Clark County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Those animals will not be available for adoption until the police investigation is complete. State police are investigating a deadly shooting in southeastern Kentucky. Troopers say around 3 this morning they found a man shot to death on Dorton Branch Road in Pineville. That man was 37-year-old Houston Langford. They say 39-year-old Melissa Sanchez admitted to shooting him. She is charged with murder and is in the Bell County Detention Center. A woman is dead after a crash in Knox County. State police say 56-year-old Patricia Burke was driving around a curve on Kentucky 11 when she lost control of her motorcycle. She crossed the center line and crashed into a truck. Burke died at the scene. The driver of the truck is okay. Troopers do not think drugs or alcohol played any role in the crash. We have developing news overseas tonight. Afghanistan's Interior Ministry has issued a ban on public gatherings for the next 10 days. The ministry, which controls the police, declared the ban effective immediately. The news comes after an attack on a protest march. At least 81 people died. Hundreds others are injured. Police in Germany don't believe ISIS is linked to yesterday's mass shooting. Police say the 18-year-old man who shot and killed 9 people at a Munich shopping mall was obsessed with shootings. They found literature about shootings at his home. They say they have not found any evidence to link him to international terrorist organizations. Now that the Republican National Convention is wrapped up, Democrats are getting ready for their own convention next week. Hillary Clinton kicked off preparations with the announcement of her running mate. Clinton named Senator Tim Kaine as her vice president pick last night on social media. The two of them made their first appearance together today in Miami.
Senator Tim Kaine is everything Donald Trump and Mike Pence are not. He is qualified to step into this job and lead on day one.
I'm grateful to you, Hillary, for the trust that you've placed in me. And we're going to be compañeros de alma in this great lucha ahead.
Kaine has served as a former mayor and former governor. He is now a state senator. The Democratic National Convention starts Monday. Our weekend is off to a humid start. Some spots in central and southern Kentucky saw some storms pop up today. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is taking a look at the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, we had one right here in Lexington. Not everybody got in on it, but we certainly had it. Now you look to the outside and things are pretty quiet for us. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms still showing up across parts of southeastern Kentucky at this point. Right now, out of the airport, we are at 92 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 98. Now, I have actually seen a few areas hit the triple digits out there today as far as it feels like is concerned, or the heat index. So plenty of heat to go around across Kentucky. You'll see some shading changes across southern parts of Kentucky, and the reason you see it go from a red to an orange is because those are cool spots because they were under some showers and thunderstorms a little bit earlier. But now most of that rain, as mentioned, is starting to die out. You can still see a few showers out across parts of looks like into Knott, Floyd County, and into Letcher County at this point, and a few holding on across the Kentucky-Tennessee state line there around Wayne County as well. Once these kind of die out, we're quiet tonight, but a better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms will be on the way for tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thousands of people are in the horse capital this weekend for Breyer Fest. The annual festival is taking over the Kentucky Horse Park. WKYT's Mike Byer introduces us to some of its special guests.
From model horses to real horses, Breyer Fest has everything a horse enthusiast could want.
So we get to see them perform, which is really cool. It's all in the same area of where the shops are, so you get shopping and watching a horse show at the same time, which is like the two best things you can do.
The three-day event is Breyer Creations' annual celebration of horses at the Kentucky Horse Park. It's in its 27th year and brings in over 10,000 people from all over the world.
It's a tradition for us now.
Absolutely.
It really, and it's just a lot of fun and lots of other horse lovers, and it's just a real nice way for us to share a hobby.
A hobby these fans take serious.
4 different ones. Yeah, we got the same one, but there's 2 other ones that we hit, you know.
Emily, why'd you choose that one?
I really like this position on the model.
Now to the real beauties. Meet Black Willow Orion. It's what's on this 17-year-old horse is something that Breyer Fest has never seen before.
The inspiration behind this was a team effort from somebody who it was really in her heart to clip the military logos. So this was an opportunity to just kind of join forces with somebody and do something really awesome to honor the veterans.
Jeff Wilson does a daily and nightly show at Breyer Fest called The Sport of Cowboys and Kings. He says markings on this Morgan grab the attention of many people, especially veterans.
I've had a lot of veterans get very emotional when they see it. There's something very therapeutic about the horse, and adding a military tribute just really takes it to another level.
In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Breyer Fest runs through tomorrow. Still to come on WKYT, hundreds decided to brave the heat to run a 5K for a special organization.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
A lot of heat and humidity out there, and they really got together right across Kentucky and making for a bit of a rough day out there if you're out for too long. Right now at the airport, still running at 92 degrees, and you're going to find more of those low 90s throughout the entire area. 90 in Danville, 91 in Richmond. You've got 92 down the road into London, so plenty of 90s all around. Factor in the humidity, and it makes it feel quite a bit worse in many cases out there. So you'll go from a 90 actual air temperature to a feels like, or a heat index of closer to 100. And you can see Louisville's there. You got Covington as well at 101. 98 feels like temperature here in Lexington, and more of the mid-90s showing up 2 hour east. Now, how does this heat really compare to normal? Today, again, out at the airport, the official reporting site, got up to 93 degrees, early morning low 70. Normally, we're at 86 and 66 for highs and lows here in Lexington. So while it's certainly warm out there, it's not off the charts. Terrible when the actual air temperatures could be much, much warmer this time of year. But it's been a very wet summer for us. Rounds of showers, thunderstorms, very wet, and it's very green outside, so we don't get the uncontrollable heat. Let's go off to parts of southeastern Kentucky where we're still tracking a few little showers and some thunder showers even right there on top of Hazard down in Perry County, dealing with one little lone shower that is now, of course, falling apart. On the larger scale, a lot more action showing up well off to our north. You can see the warm front that's well off to our north as well, which has allowed the invasion of all that humidity. Showers and thunderstorms continue to develop along that. Watching this overall area for severe weather development here this evening, so plenty of action going on there. Not around here, though. Those shower and thunderstorm chances will start to disappear as we head into the overnight. We're in the low to mid 70s to start your Sunday. That is impressive and uncomfortable as well. We get into the day tomorrow. It's another one where we're going to be right around 90 in most locations, but a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, I think, will try to go up. They're going to be scattered, as you see here, so you might run into some pockets of cooler air here and there. Monday, more widespread rain chances will start coming together, and we'll try to back the temperatures down just a little bit. Again, obviously, if you get caught under a thunderstorm, you're going to be much cooler anyway. Here's a 7-day forecast. Let's roll that out for you. A few showers and storms possible out there tomorrow, and we'll keep the storms alive across the board here in the 7-day. But you also notice some of that tough heat will start to back off, and we'll get back to around normal for this time of year. But a daily threat of showers and storms. But not everybody sees them, especially tomorrow. Maybe like here in Lexington today, we had one go up out toward the Childsburg area. Never had a thing here at the station.
And around normal is sounding great right now.
Yeah, not bad.
The humidity didn't stop hundreds of runners from racing out at Keeneland this morning. The track hosted the 17th annual Run for Recovery 5K. It benefits the Shepherd's House in Lexington. WKYT's Mike Linden talked to a Shepherd's House graduate.
Despite the hot and humid conditions, more than 300 people ran for recovery at Keeneland this morning. The Shepherd's House in Lexington has been helping men recover from drug and alcohol addiction since 1989. This morning at Keeneland, more than 300 people ran to support their efforts. Organizers say the 17th annual Run for Recovery 5K helps to provide funds for the nonprofit to stay afloat. For those currently in the program, they say the road to recovery is very similar to running a 5K, especially in the middle of summer.
You're running with some people and you lean on them to help you through the race, and it's a lot like recovery. You know, you put good people around you, and you lean on them to motivate you and tell you, you're going to be able to do all right, and you just trust them, and that's the biggest thing, is you trust people.
Organizers say they've been fundraising for the past 2 months leading up to the race, and with the money gained from the race and the fundraising beforehand, they've raised nearly $75,000. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
That Shepherd's House uses proceeds from the race for supplies and mock interview training. Lee K. Howard's in next with sports with a former Wildcat back in the Bluegrass.
He was Michael Kidd Gilchrist, the beloved Wildcat during his one season at UK. Today he talked about his injury-riddled NBA career. And a former Wildcat breaks a world record. We'll see it next in sports. Since being drafted second overall in the 2012 NBA draft, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist has battled injuries early in his pro career. Today, MKG was back in Lexington helping out with a camp for kids. Last season, Kidd-Gilchrist played in just 7 games before suffering what he called a freak injury to his shoulder. He wasn't able to help the Charlotte Hornets in their playoff push. He told us today, though, his shoulder is feeling much better.
It's decent, but a lot of work to be done on my part. More than willing to work harder and harder every day. So I just want to help my team win in the day. I don't get into stats and all that. My job is to win a basketball game at the end of the day.
Former UK hurdler Kendra Harrison missed out on her opportunity to qualify for the Rio Olympics, but last night in London she accomplished a different goal, breaking the 28-year-old world record in the 100-meter hurdles in a time of 12.20 seconds, 1/100th of a second faster than the previous record of 12.21 seconds. Although she isn't headed to Rio, this will be some compensation.
Yeah, you know, not making the Olympic team, I was just really upset, and I wanted to come out here and do what I know I could have done. You know, my coach has been behind me this whole time, and, you know, I like to thank God I'm healthy, and, you know, I was just coming out here with just a vengeance to show these girls what I have.
And that coach that she was referring to is UK's track coach Edric Florial, who was with her last night in London. UK hosted its annual women's football clinic today at Commonwealth Stadium, and another large crowd attended. Nearly 300 women there as the UK coaching staff explained offenses and defenses and talked about recruiting. Then the women, well, they went out and hit the field where they were given instruction on the basics of blocking, tackling, running, and passing.
They're enthusiastic. They're excited about our football program, and you know, anytime that you get a chance to spend with some time with some dedicated fans like our women, it's always fun.
I think that's the great thing about this country. I think everybody's a football fan. I mean, it's become our national pastime.
And we are just 42 days away until kickoff to the UK football season. Tonight in our nightly countdown, we look at the number 42. It's the number worn by running back Derek Homer and linebacker Dean Wells. Drew Barker connected with Jeff Bedett on a 42-yard pass play last year at Vandy, the longest of Barker's career. And in 2007, UK rallied with 28 straight points to post a 42-29 comeback win at Arkansas. To see a complete countdown, head over to WKYT.com. We continue our countdown to kickoff for the high school football season with last year's 6A state runner-up Lafayette. Brian Milam has the preview.
What a ride the Lafayette Generals gave the fans of high school football in Central Kentucky last year. Eric Shaw's band of self-described goofy, crazy athletes went to the 6A state finals for the first time in 30 years. Lafayette lost some key contributors, but they have a lot returning also.
You can't replace a Landon, you can't replace an All-Star, you can't replace those DBs that we had last year that graduated. It's not about replacing them, it's about developing the talent that we have to put in a position to be successful.
For the most part, most of my receivers are back. Quentin Brown, Matthew Guilfoyle, Daquan Edwards, and a bunch of the other guys. And there's guys that didn't play huge roles last year that are really going to step up and fill in the steps of like Mason Allstat or Vestry that no one really knows about yet.
Coming back as well for a final fun-filled season is Walker Wood. He is a Jim McMahon punky QB type of persona who is a unique leader and who can do it all.
He brings leadership a lot of leadership and a lot of big plays. He's a big playmaker, and we can always count on him when we need one.
One of our things that we always say, 11 equals 1. I can't do it by myself, and 10 of us can't do it. There's got to be 11 on the field.
During that magical playoff run a year ago, the Generals rallied in the fourth quarter to win every postseason game up to the state finals. Now in 2016, the defense especially is a lot older.
But there was one great thing about that group last year. They played, and they played hard. They never felt that it was out of a game. And they played the game reckless. To play defense, you got to play it like that.
For 27 teams in 27 days, I'm Brian Milam.
All right, and we continue our countdown tomorrow. We're going to be talking about those Dunbar Bulldogs tomorrow at 6.
Getting everyone excited for football.
That's right. Only, 26, 25 days left?
We'll be right back with the final look at weather. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $390 million, and Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. I was outside about 20 minutes, and that is all I could handle today.
20 minutes is about a good
there.
limit, I think. And, you know, some people had to stay out for a long time. We had the, 5K this morning?
Oh,
too?
yeah.
And it was sticky at that point. Not as hot as it is right now, of course. We're going to keep the heat around again tomorrow, around 90 degrees, but a better chance of showers and storms out there. So there's going to be scattered, but a better chance.
I was outside for the same 20 minutes she was outside, for the record.
Get that in there.
Hope you'll join us right back here at 11 o'clock tonight.